Hey guys, it's Simeon. This is Pro Wrestling Unlimited as we are here on the 31st of March, 2020 to talk about, well, a couple of different things. Impact to TNA, WWE, WrestleMania, and whatever else you guys in the live chat ask us about. And to do so, to ask us questions, all you got to do is send a text message to 510-906-1341 or submit a super chat donation. Super chat donations do help us out greatly. Helps us out as far as giving us a little more put back into Pro Wrestling Unlimited. But Nick, what's going on?
How's it going, man? For it being kind of like a dark time globally, there's a lot of wrestling news that's actually pretty interesting that's going on, which is actually like kind of fun.
Right.
Because there's new stuff. There's new stuff to talk about. AEW announced a new championship, which I love, and we'll get into that. Talk a little bit about WrestleMania. Because am I high? No, I haven't been high all day. I have no money, and I don't have any weed right now. And so I got to wait till I can go to like a dispensary and buy again. Hopefully Friday. But AEW has their new title. WWE is really pushing for you to buy Mania for $60. And we'll talk about why here in a second.
But it's both nights for $60, so it's not like
Both
60
nights,
each,
which is good. Yeah, so you're really only paying $30 in theory.
Actually, it's depending on who you buy it from, because some cable companies are charging $35 a night, which would actually end up being $70 together.
Gotcha. But we will touch into why a lot of people are. Or WWE is pushing for a lot of people to buy it. Kristen McNutt with the $2, which is another thing we're going to get into. Impact had their like TNA throwback pay-per-view tonight, and they announced that Kaylee is so she.
Well,
Kylie Ray.
It's Kylie Ray. They announced her on the
Kylie.
normal Impact show, and then on Access they aired like a TNA throwback deal. Those two separate shows actually tonight.
So I thought it was cool. Congratulations to her. So we have a lot to talk about, and I also want to mess around if we have time at the end of the show. If not, maybe make it a standalone video. But talk about two matches in particular coming up at WrestleMania and how you can make them fun, how I would make them fun. We have plenty to talk about. But before we get into anything we're going to talk about, I want to say hello to people like Sinclair Saturday, Kristen McNutt, Crazy JJ. Luis is here as well. All these lovely people in chat. Nicholas Altmore with that cute little fucking badge next to his name. And if you want a cute little badge right down there, if you're on a desktop where it says to subscribe, should be clicked. If it's not, click it. The bell next to it, not clicked, click it. That little join button for $4.99. You can get access to some cool shit. So look into that, guys.
Not just $4.99. There is the $4.99 where you get the $4.99 tier where you get the actual early access stuff and whatnot. But you can also just go to the donation route and just donate for $1.99 to help us out.
Oh. Well, that's cool. That's pretty sick. So do that, guys. Angel Hernandez is Sammy Guevara for the TNT title. Tim, do you want to start with the announcement of AEW's new championship?
Sure. So yesterday, well, actually Sunday, Cody sent out a tweet and said, we've got a big announcement coming on Road 2 that people have been asking for. And my first thought was, and he said, not a video game. My first thought was, okay, is this they're working with New Japan or something? But I was like, no, they wouldn't announce that on a Road 2. So I didn't know what to think of. And so the Road 2 video starts, and it's talking about Culture City and everything. And then I get an email from AEW, and it's a press release saying that they are introducing the TNT Championship. Then about 2 minutes later, as I'm still watching Road 2, they show Tony Schiavone and Cody in Cody's office talking and whatnot. And QT Marshall barges in, and he's like, oh, hey, Tony, I just want to give you my bracket. Here you go. And Cody's like, bracket for what? And QT's like, I got to go. And then, so Tony gets I guess you could say a FaceTime message or whatever from Britt Baker. And she's like, Tony, I sent you my bracket. And Cody's like, all right, what are you talking about? These brackets. And then all of a sudden, Tony Schiavone, who was just acting all nonchalant, goes into announcer mode and jumps out of his seat and just goes, well, we have something to announce here. As you see on our whiteboard here, look all the way up there. It says TNT Championship. And they have announced a secondary championship. Cody doesn't want it called the mid-card title. He doesn't like that deal. But it's a secondary championship called the TNT Championship. They announced today the first 4 competitors that will be in this tournament. And then tomorrow on Dynamite, they will announce the other 4. So they announced 2 matches. In the first round, we will see Cody taking on Shawn Spears. And we will also see Sammy Guevara taking on Darby Allin, which both are rematches. So it leads me to think that maybe on the other side of the bracket, whoever those 4 people are going to be rematches as well, possibly. Just my assumption based off of what we got tonight.
Thank you, Luke, for the $1.99. I definitely will. Times are a tough, kid. I love the addition of this title or championship or strap. I call them straps, and everyone hates me for it. They know what it's called.
I'm just going to say it right now. I get people were trying to make fun of this with putting the TNT logo on it. But if you're going to do it, put the actual logo and not the logo from the 90s. Put the logo that's actually current. Thank you very much.
Here's the thing. Like, if they just throw the TNT logo on a championship, Chief, I don't care. Damn, I'm echoing. I can hear myself.
What do you mean?
I can hear myself on your end, Chief.
My no, my audio's not picking anything up when you're talking.
That's weird. Anyway, I'm gonna talk with one headphone out so I don't get distracted. You know how when you hear yourself when you talk and you slow down?
Yeah.
I like the idea of it just being, just have it say TNT on it. Let it be a thank you to the fucking TV network that had tons of faith in you. And
right.
I think it's fine. I like it better than TV championship. TV sounds generic. TNT sounds like it's a championship. Here's what it's dedicated to. It's not just.
Here's my question: can it only be defended on TNT?
Nah.
Because in the press release and everything, they did state that we'll be doing this tournament that starts on the 8th. And it will conclude at Double or Nothing, whenever that is, because it may not be May 25th anymore. Because, well, we're on lockdown for another month, people.
I want to fucking die. Anyway, who do you think is going to be the first person to pick up the belt? I think, and Sinclair took my answer, I think it'll be Orange. Because if you look at when Orange Cassidy held, and I know this is not a fair comparison, but when you look at when he held the IWTV, like Independent Wrestling Championship,
right?
My God, that was just a title that, like, it to fans, it was just, hey, we're gonna see a title match, and it helps elevate people, but it's nothing fancy, it's nothing that's like your world championship, and he had so much goddamn fun with it, and actual like wrestlers were going after it. So you got like comedy matches with David Starr that turned into fucking like 5-star bangers, and I think that kind of shit's great. Well, people are saying Darby Allin. If it's MJF, I swear to God, I'll throw myself out of my fucking roof.
Here's why I don't think it's going to be Orange Cassidy. It could be MJF, but it could also be Cody, because I think that the finals of this tournament will be a Cody MJF rematch.
Yeah, ew. Just give them. Why do I need?
Because I felt that at Revolution, this Cody MJF stuff was not done, but then they all of a sudden just randomly shifted everybody to blood and guts match, and it was like, well, this makes no sense.
Does that feud need a title more than maybe some other people in that division?
I'm not saying it needed a title or anything, but I'm just saying, like,
I hope they don't. I
just felt like that feud wasn't over, and the easiest way to get them to another Cody MJF match is to have them two in the finals of this tournament.
Oh, gotcha.
Because then you can do the whole, like, Cody makes it to the finals, MJF makes it to the finals, and you get a week of them going back and forth or something, or however long till Double or Nothing, and then, you can just, do the little funny Cody MJF stuff or whatever, and then have another match, and then that be the big final blow off, and it's also a title match, so it even means more. But that's what I think. I don't even know if MJF. I mean, I would assume it would be, to me, a crime if MJF's at least not in the tournament. Like, I think he should at least be in.
Fair.
I think he should at least be in the tournament. But I do think that this could be a way to get to another pay-per-view match between Cody and MJF, but not have to do the long, drawn-out Cody MJF feud. You get what I'm saying? Because that stuff they did before was kind of, in my opinion, a little too drawn out with the whole stipulations of Cody's got to do this, and then Cody's got to do that, and then MJF can't this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Robbie says MJF best heel. That's not very true.
Who do you think is a better heel than MJF?
Oh, that's a great
Did
question.
you see
Where do I-
MJF's? I don't know why, but YouTube's been suggesting it to everybody recently, like in the last
That's
week.
because you can
MJ,
nudge YouTube to do those kind of things if you're
MJF's freaking Tough
tryout video.
Enough tryout video where he called himself Maxwell Jacob Feinstein.
Gross.
But the funny thing is, in the video he says, "I'm Maxwell Jacob Feinstein." But then when WWE uploaded it 5 years ago, it said MJF Maxwell Friedman, which is weird. Like they changed the title or something.
You could almost put any of WWE's current top heels as better heels than MJF, I think.
Really?
Yeah, like Orton, miles better heel.
Well, okay.
Shut
Now
up.
you're going.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
No. I'm not saying he's on a Randy Orton level. I'm just saying you can't compare him to Randy Orton.
Yes, I can, because they're both fucking heels, and heels have the same job
I
to
would
get the
put him on,
crowd
like,
angry.
The same level as The Miz
No, I
or
think
Dolph
I don't.
Ziggler.
But even that, those aren't very fucking good heels. Those
Henry,
aren't very
no,
good heels.
You couldn't be more wrong.
No, it's not true. I think there's 100 times better heels.
I mean,
dude.
I off the top of my head, the first thing I think of is better than MJF. Fucking JBL.
Remember that one episode of SmackDown when he
in
kicked
character
people?
and real life.
That dude, literally, at one point, didn't he kick people out of the country?
Oh, that was Eddie's idea.
Fuck yeah. Because you know why? Because people hate that kind of shit. You know what that makes?
Also, remember
Heat.
when they showed the video of him fucking with Eddie's mom at a house show?
Yes.
Again, Eddie's idea. He's like,
Fucking
we're going to
dick.
get major heat on you, pal.
Dude,
You're
was
going to
so
go into
fucking
El
good.
Paso and screw with my mom.
I'd love to hear more about Eddie and his influence onto a lot of matches and shit like that.
Speaking of Eddie, kind of deviating really fast, did you watch Dark Side of the Ring yet?
Yeah, I did.
What did you think of it?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. It answered a lot of questions I had about Benoit, and I'm also glad that that they talked a lot about, like, he should not be in the Hall of Fame, because I think that is such a thing that is such a heavy discussion between people of, like, does Chris Benoit deserve the credit for his wrestling prowess because of what he's done? And I think everyone had a great thing. And I thought the ending where I believe it was Nancy Benoit's sister said she would like to forgive him one day, but that's not today, but maybe one day. I love that kind of, like, I loved it. I thought it was great.
Tonight is the New Jack episode.
And New Jack is trending in 2020.
Listen. So Jericho talked to the guys that created, produced, and put together the whole Dark Side of the Ring, and they were like, "Yeah, we did the New Jack one. We didn't realize he was literally trying to kill people in the ring."
Yeah, New Jack. Literally, if you got in the ring with New Jack, there's like a 7% chance you come out alive. Do you not remember Mass Transit? God damn.
And then
New
they
Jack's
talked
crazy
about how,
motherfucker.
they also talked about how the Owen Hart one is not 100% completed yet. That's the season finale.
I'm excited for that Owen Hart one.
But what they were able to get for it was, apparently, whenever Owen was home, he just had a camera filming the family. So they've got all these home videos of Owen.
That's so great.
Yeah.
That makes me so happy.
But we'll see how it goes. I think, like I said, I think tonight's the New Jack episode, which should be a very interesting one, because they said they went and they spoke with New Jack, and he was just in character, basically, the whole time.
I've seen New Jack out of character once, and it was during what's that shoot? What's that?
Are you talking about the one with Honky Tonk Man and Iron Sheik?
No, I'm talking about the one where he walks into a room, and there's this one dude who does a whole bunch of shoot interviews with wrestlers, and I can't remember his fucking name.
RF Video?
Is it RF Video?
I would assume.
It's just this like white dude with spiky black hair.
I don't know what the guy looks like.
Yeah. Anyway,
because the more popular one is RF Video, or there's Title Match.
He walked in on a Jim Cornette interview, and it was just like, oh hey Jim, how you doing? Great to see you. Hope you've been well. How's wife? How's everything? How's the pets? And it just seemed like New Jack's just like not a murderer.
And I
Goodness
think
gracious.
Jericho's narrating every episode for season 2.
Ooh,
Yeah.
very fun.
Because he said something in the podcast about working with them and narrating and stuff. And I know he narrated the Benoit one a little bit for what they needed, but I think he stated that he's narrating all of them for this season.
Sick.
And then they hope to do a season 3. You know, they got to finish season 2 first. They haven't got a word if they're going to get a season 3 or not, but they've got some ideas on what they want to do. I forgot exactly what they said. They said a couple of them, but I can't remember exactly. And they said that from season 1, the one that the subject did not really like, Brett did not like the way they did the Montreal Screwjob episode, apparently.
Is there any pleasing Bret Hart, though?
Probably not.
Exactly. Who gives a shit?
But, you know, I thought the Dark Side of the Ring episode on Benoit was very interesting. A lot of it I had heard of in the past and stuff. Like, I knew a lot of those stories, but I didn't know. What I didn't know is that when they called Chavo to Eddie's room and they were like, something's up with your uncle. You need to get to his hotel, because they were in the same hotel. And they're like, you need to get to his room now. I always heard the story of Chavo ran in, Eddie was laying face down already dead. I didn't know that Eddie was dying when Chavo ran in and died in Chavo's arms.
That's some scary shit.
That's what I didn't know about that part. So
it's tough.
Crazy. But yeah, I'll watch that New Jack one. Give you my thoughts maybe on Thursday if I can see it before that. This should be the way they were talking about it in the Jericho interview is like the New Jack one is going to be pretty interesting.
New Jack's an interesting guy.
Especially because they were just like, we went in, talked to him, and he was just in character. And they didn't know what to expect.
Continuing on, we have a little bit of news coming out of WWE today regarding WrestleMania and how you can watch WrestleMania. Because when I woke up this morning, I checked my email, and I had an email from Fight TV, and I can even go over here and load it up as I scroll down, and I don't see Fight TV because they're under my social on here, so I will just have to look them up. And I see an email that says, order WrestleMania 36 today. And then it gets me thinking, well, it's on the network. But wait, it's not.
Only.
Tim, what happened?
So I'm going to pull it up right here on my screen if I can get it to go. That's for some. Doesn't want to go. There we go. Atta boy.
Nice.
So as you see here, it's Fight TV, and you're thinking, what the fuck? WWE WrestleMania, $59.99. What is going on? Well, WWE knows that they're going to lose out on millions of dollars from not having fans in attendance at WrestleMania, so they're trying everything they can to get people to buy this on pay-per-view. If you watched last night's Monday Night Raw, and I didn't catch this at first, someone else brought it up to me today. If you watched last night's Monday Night Raw, they kept saying, WrestleMania, too big for one night, order it on pay-per-view. And, well, the WWE Network. And they never once on Raw last night said, the WWE Network, get it on the WWE Network, which is free for new subscribers. They never said that once last night on Raw, to my recollection. And
because they realize how much they're missing out on.
And so the whole thing is, why are they doing this? Well, they need to try and make some money. This isn't the only new venture they've reached out for. Also, you can go to the Fox Sports app or the Fox Now app and order WrestleMania through that as well. I'm going to see if I can pull it up here and see the price. I think it's $59.99. Okay, let's go Fox Sports Go and see what they've got it on there. But WWE, from everything that I've been able to figure out or whatnot, basically they're trying to make their money. I don't want to say back because what they're gonna lose off of WrestleMania, basically.
And I don't think it's. I think it's probably what most of us were expecting.
I wasn't expecting to get an email. I got 3 emails today from Fight saying order to WrestleMania.
I got the one. Then again, I probably got the one turned all off on my emails because I don't like emails from them. But I did assume in some capacity that this was not only going to be aired on the network is what I meant to say. I didn't mean that like we expected it to go to pay-per-view, but I did expect them to branch out and have to do something. And I wouldn't say that this is different because they've sold Mania pay-per-views before, but within the last what?
Well,
How
Mania's even with the WWE Network, every pay-per-view has still been on pay-per-view.
right, but they don't advertise the fact that it's on pay-per-view.
Well, they shit on pay-per-view when they first came out with the network. When they did the whole why pay $59.99 when you can get the WWE Network for $9.99, and they had that song $9.99, a $9.99. Remember that?
See, that was great. No, because that was about the point where I tuned out of wrestling up until my sophomore year of high school, which is funny because the match that got me back into wrestling was Seth Rollins and Randy Orton, because I was at my then girlfriend's house. Her dad was watching Mania on the TV, and
Mania 31, baby.
And I walked by and I was like, "Oh shit, he just kicked Orton in the gut. He's about to hit the ropes. That'd be cool for Randy Orton, like throws him in the air and RKO's him."
You know what's weird?
And he did it. And I was like, "Holy shit!"
I can't find anywhere on the Fox Sports app or the Fox Now app where you can order WrestleMania, but they put out a release today that said it will be available. So I don't know if it's just not up yet. All it keeps telling me is watch WWE Backstage live right now.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk a little bit more about them doing this, because why not just put it on ESPN? Yes, I get it. More money. Like, you're gonna lose more money.
Right.
But don't you think they get a little bit more? Like, I'm not gonna pay fucking $60 for no people.
One second,
I'm not paying. Yeah,
Kristen,
no worries, man.
It's not 60 plus 60.
Yeah,
it's 60 for both nights.
Yeah, so think of it as like basically 30.
Because
a night.
Fight TV is supposed to have it 60 for both nights. Fox is supposed to have it 60 for both nights. I have it written down right here. Direct TV. Flip this page in my notebook. Direct TV has both nights $35 each night, so that's $70. Comcast has it for $70. Verizon Fios has it for $60.
There you go. I don't even know what the fuck Fios is.
It's just Verizon's cable company, just like Comcast has Xfinity.
Gotcha.
Which is basically NBC Universal.
What's that one that's coming out? Peacock, CBS, or is that NBC?
That's NBC Universal Peacock.
Cringe. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested. I think if they do right on this Mania, at least night 1, you'd probably see increased buys for night 2.
Well, see, here was the issue. When they first
or at least
said,
maybe night 1 free and then night 2.
No, because here was the issue. When they first said that Mania is going to be 2 nights, pay-per-view companies didn't know how to price it. They did like night 1 for $9.99, night 2 for $50, because they thought that it was going to be like any other 2-night big event. Night 1 is just to set up for the more important night 2. But as we've learned with WrestleMania, both nights are supposed to be as important as the other. It's not like with New Japan when they did their 2 nights. Night 1, for the most part, just set up a bunch of stuff for night 2.
Yes.
But that's not how WWE's doing it. They want to do it as both nights are going to have equal amount of matches, equal amount of big matches, and they're both going to be as important as the other.
Yep. But pretty cool.
But I mean, like I said, they're gonna lose $14 million just off of fans not going to WrestleMania, plus another $4 million from ticket sales of Raw, SmackDown, Takeover, Hall of Fame, and I think Access is looped in on that as well. Another $4 million for all that.
It's a lot of money to just not
have.
That's
just ticket sales, not counting merch sales and anything else that they sell or can profit off of if they were still going to Tampa.
It's wild shit, man. You don't really expect how important, but then it does make you realize. Then it does make WWE realize maybe we should make our fans a little happier from time to time.
Because if you look
this
at
happens
it,
again,
they stated that last year in the New York, New Jersey area for WrestleMania, the city made $136 million.
Yikes.
That's how
Hey,
much.
you're getting a little robot-y.
What do you mean?
You just sound like a robot for me.
Give me 1 second. Here, let me try something.
All right, it's good. No?
Any better? Hello?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh.
I can hear you now.
So that 136 means like hotels profited, restaurants made extra money than they usually do, and all other things like different businesses and stuff, told them this is how much money we made over this week when WWE was here. That's $136 million extra revenue that they wouldn't have made if they didn't have WrestleMania. And that's why you see these cities bidding for WrestleMania, giving WWE deals on, hey, we'll let you run the venue for a cutback price. Sometimes you even see them say, we'll give you the venue for free. You just pay for, the other, like, I think 1 year, I think it was 34. They may have given them they paid a cut rate for the Superdome, but then they gave them the what is it called? Smoothie King Arena across the street for TakeOver, Raw, and SmackDown and all that, free. That was kind of one of their selling points is you don't got to pay the rental fee on this building. Just we'll give you a deal on the big building.
Cool.
And because they know that with WrestleMania coming, and now with not just WrestleMania coming, but other wrestling companies also running shows, it's going to bring hundreds of thousands of fans into their city to make their city more money than they would have if they didn't have it. So,
Exactly. Some wild shit. Some wild stuff within WWE, especially with WrestleMania. It almost feels like it's not even Mania season.
Right.
And it's just what a weird time for Mania. We have some other stuff to talk about.
We do.
What do you want to lead into next? I'll let you take this one because I feel like I took the first two topics.
Talk a little Impact Wrestling. Got two things to talk about.
Packed.
So, first thing we're going to talk about, we actually have to go back all the way to March 2019.
Bad year.
In March of 2019, All Elite Wrestling had announced that they signed almost unknown indie wrestler Kylie Rae. Most fans of AEW at the time didn't know who Kylie Rae was. She did at the Double or Nothing ticket party a stare down with Nyla Rose, and then it was announced that we're going to get a triple threat match at Double or Nothing. Britt Baker, Kylie Rae, Nyla Rose. We all know what happened there. The Awesome Kong got added to that match and whatnot.
I forgot Awesome Kong got added to that match, actually.
So Kylie Rae got just a fucking phenomenal reaction from that live crowd when she came out for that match. And everyone goes, she's going to be a star in this company. She's going to be one of the women that they're going to be able to make their big female baby face, which I think they ended up shifting and putting Riho in that spot. But when you look at everything, she was supposed to wrestle at the next pay-per-view Fighter Fest. They didn't announce her match, but Fight TV accidentally leaked her match as far as leaking the graphic before it was actually announced. And we do know that she was supposed to be on the pre-show wrestling Leva Bates. She ended up not doing that match, and I think Allie replaced her. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I think Allie replaced her. Yeah. So the big question is, what's going on with Kylie Rae? Everything went quiet. We didn't hear anything. She didn't work Fight for the Fallen. She didn't work All Out. We heard that there was some sort of maybe a falling out. So after All Out, when they did the media scrums, someone asked Tony Khan, hey, what's going on with Kylie Rae? Because the news started coming out that week that she wanted out of the company. She wanted a release, and Tony Khan just said yes. She asked for her release, and we granted it. If somebody doesn't want to be here, if somebody doesn't want to work for us, we're not going to make them stay here. We will let them leave. And so that was in August, September. October, she ended up working an indie show that was in conjunction with Impact, and then she worked Bound for Glory the next day. She had done a couple other little things for Impact Wrestling since then, and then tonight on the normal Impact show, they did announce, she announced on the show that she has signed a long-term contract with Impact and stated that the first time that she stepped into an Impact ring, she actually felt like she was at home, and she's never felt like that anywhere before. So I don't know if we'll ever know.
And I'm glad. She's a great wrestler.
I didn't like her promo where she announced her signing because she came off a little too much. Like she was trying too hard to be the bubbly character. Like she tried.
No, I don't think
You
she
know,
was trying
did you
very
watch?
hard. I think
Did
that's
you see the
just
little
her.
video they posted on Twitter?
Yeah, her character from
Eh.
her character in AEW and in
Well, we don't know
TNA.
what her
It's
AEW
this.
character was going to be because she did the
It was.
one promo and then.
It was. I assume it was going to be the same as her
Well,
independent.
yeah, it would have.
Which was just like she's just like the. I'm happy to be here and I'm going to give it my all.
I just felt like
thing.
she was a little too over the top happy. You know what I mean?
Fair.
But to each their own. Anyway, she signed with Impact, a long-term deal, which means probably a 3-year deal or so. Not exactly sure, but I know when, I forget who it was, someone recently signed and said they signed a long-term deal, and then it came out that it was a 3-year deal. It may have been Jordan Grace when she signed her deal. With came out that it was a 3-year deal. I'm not sure, may have been 2, but anyways, so she signed with them. But that was not the only thing that Impact had tonight. Impact also aired on Access
they aired
TV.
probably the worst fucking segment of the goddamn year.
They had a TNA special where it was basically to set up what was supposed to be this Friday's TNA pay-per-view that I was actually looking forward to because they were going to bring back, they were going to do an Ultimate X match with TNA Originals. They were going to do the fucking King of the Mountain match, which I actually really liked.
So cool.
Yeah.
I had to burp.
And they're not doing that now because, well, no one's running in Tampa. They were supposed to do that show in Tampa, and it was unfortunate because every time on this TNA special that Scott D'Amore would say, this Friday at TNA Coming Home or whatever it was called, and then you'd see a graphic on the bottom of the screen, TNA show has been postponed, not happening this Friday.
That sucks.
But
hold on real quick.
Go for it.
Tonight aired literally my least favorite segment, promo thing. Awful.
So Impact basically did 2 shows tonight. Their normal Impact show and then like a teaser TNA show with TNA Originals and hyping up like I stated, the TNA pay-per-view that was supposed to be over WrestleMania weekend. And well, it just wasn't that good. So it starts off and they do this little vignette video talking about TNA and what it used to be, and then they did the whole TNA cross the line, which okay.
Was that like a
good TNA was before Cross the Line. Anyways.
That's what I'm saying.
So I watched the show. It was all right. Scott D'Amore was on commentary with David Penzer. They're like, who do you think you were going to get? Mike Tenay and Don West? And I was like, well, damn. No, but okay. Anyways.
What, are they not cool with the company anymore or something?
Well, I mean, Mike Tenay might be going to AEW. Mm-hmm. Tony Schiavone said that they were looking at possibly bringing him in for Double or Nothing.
I would love if he replaced Jim Ross.
But here's my thing. I don't want to hear Mike Tenay and Tony Schiavone calling AEW matches because then how much more is it going to feel like watching fucking Nitro?
I mean,
you know what I mean?
It doesn't at all feel like watching an episode of Nitro.
I mean, it did at first hearing Tony Schiavone's voice. I mean, not as much anymore, but those first couple of weeks of Dynamite,
Go ahead.
How much Nitro did you really watch?
I've seen literally every episode of Nitro that's on the network.
Oh, so you've seen them all?
Yeah, I've seen every episode of Nitro.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I wasn't alive, but I can go back on the network.
Right. I didn't know if you'd ever done that.
Yeah, of course. I get bored.
But I just felt like at least the first couple of weeks before it just felt normal, I felt like I was just watching a WCW show because I correlate WCW Nitro with Tony Schiavone's voice because every time I used to watch Nitro, I hear Tony Schiavone. When I play the freaking, what game was it? It was WCW Backstage Assault. Tony Schiavone was the announcer. And
I really think that AEW's commentary team should just be Tony Schiavone as like the color guy, and Excalibur is the play-by-play.
Exactly.
And just fucking tell Jim Ross to take his old ass backstage or go
fucking
home.
Screw Jim Ross. I really like Taz and Excalibur together.
Yeah.
When they did their stuff on Dark, when they did their stuff on Dark and the pay-per-view pre-shows, they were really good together. Excalibur and Taz.
I think 3-man teams are too hard to do. I think 3-man teams always sound like one guy just isn't really getting his shit in, and especially with a guy like Jim Ross, who's like, The dude's old now. He's getting. It's tough for him to get through his sentence and keep up with literally everything that's happening. But when you have a guy like Excalibur who lives and breathes this and is like half of JR's age, why is he not your like, we're gonna like JR and Tony Schiavone, they're cool. Excalibur though. I don't know, man.
So this TNA special that aired on Access TV kicked off with Hernandez versus Chase Stevens. If you remember, Hernandez was in the original LAX. Chase Stevens was part of the Naturals, and Hernandez beat him. Wasn't much of a match.
Nah.
The next match we got was Kid Cash and Johnny Swinger taking on Suicide and Manic. And the commentary had to tell us, well, if you followed TNA, you would know that Suicide actually turned in to Manic. So how can they both be here in the ring at the same time? And I'm like, oh my, it's just fucking TJP.
Is it? Oh, was it TJP too?
TJP was the original Suicide, and then he turned into Manic. And tonight he wrestled as Manic. I don't know who was under the Suicide costume tonight, but do you know where Suicide first started?
The video game, right?
Yep. Suicide debuted in the video game. Then they brought him to television. And it was originally, the original Suicide was TJP. I know Kazarian has done the Suicide gimmick before, and a couple others.
Hell yeah.
But that match was okay. Not much to it. And then we got what they called Scott Steiner Uncensored. And Scott D'Amore goes, this is probably not a good idea, but we're going to give Scott Steiner a microphone and let him go out here uncensored.
Yeah, it wasn't a good idea because it sucked.
And
I could have done better.
And he gets in the ring and he says, what's up, all my freaks? And he starts doing Steiner math, but you can tell that it's not Steiner math, what we know, because it's not like when he did the first Steiner math and he didn't know what he was talking about. He was just trying to cover his ass and keep saying more shit. But this time you can tell they said, all right, go out there and pretend to do Steiner math. We'll write something for you. Here's some numbers to say, and call the people on the internet snowflakes, because he kept saying those snowflakes on Twitter. And then Mr. Conservative Joey Ryan came out talking about Scott Steiner and his gimmick not being conservative enough for television. And Scott Steiner goes, I'm sorry I've upset you, snowflake.
Look, okay. There's a lot to take in with this, because this promo was a prime example of this was really funny 8 months ago. You missed the window for this to be good.
Oh, no.
And it's not even ironically funny anymore.
It was,
no. And I get the Steiner math is its own thing. Scott Steiner's always called people fucking freaks, whatever. That's just his thing. But the Steiner math, it's like the fucking wheel, or it's like bread. You don't make bread too. You just move on.
Because the thing with Steiner math was that wasn't a scripted segment. He just went out there and just started rambling.
Having a stroke live on television, and
then
it was great.
And then when he realized he fucked up, he tried to cover it up, and it got worse, which actually ended up getting better. But anyways, tonight he was like, "Yeah, I'm 50-something% here and 125% there." And blah. I'm like, they're trying to recreate something that people think is super funny, but it's not now because it was just not good.
And then enter in Joey Ryan's new
don't even get me started on this bullshit. I did not like this.
His new character,
his right to censor rip-off character.
Yeah, and for those that didn't see it, I don't really want to talk about it. I don't think it's good. I don't want to waste the time. But to break it down very basically, it's your picture someone making fun of a internet sensitive person,
and
someone that
like Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, and it's just he has the like the Weird Al Yankovic white nerdy outfit on, you know what I mean?
Right,
from that video, and he's saying stuff like, he's just trying to be PC, and that's not very this of you, blah blah blah. And it's the comedy that was funny 6 fucking months ago, a year ago, but it's not good anymore. It's not good. And with them trying to ham fist this new, because Joey Ryan's the dick guy. He has nothing else going for. I don't think he's that good of a wrestler, and that's just me. And I've seen him live. I think he's passable. I think he's fine. But his main thing is the cock and balls. And when you take away his main thing, it's just boring. There are 450 fucking people that can do the sensitive internet guy better than Joey Ryan. So why are they having him do it? Why do it? Do anything else. Do you know how good a promo would be between prime Joey Ryan talking about his fucking cock and balls and Scott Steiner talking about his freaks and big booty baby daddy whatever? That would be good. Because
Big
those are,
booby baby daddy. What?
I don't know, man. There's just, it's similar styles, but you're putting the, I'm obviously the dated guy, and I'm obviously the sensitive guy. You know who's supposed to be made fun of here, and it's not good. It's just shitty. It's just bad. Why did they have, like, why change Joey Ryan's gimmick? Like, what? Everything Joey Ryan has is his gimmick.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Like, he is known because he's flipped people with his cock and ball. That's it. How many times can I say cock and ball in this episode? Where's my counter? For the love. And it just hurt, man. It was just a tough segment to push through. And it sucks, man.
Speaking of Joey Ryan and his cock and balls,
Good Lord.
you know how he used to always pull that lollipop out of his trunks?
Yes.
And it'd come out all nice and clean?
Yes.
You think it's because he may have used Manscaped?
God, I'm leaving this podcast. I'm leaving. I'm done.
You think he manscaped? That way the lollipop never came out with any like pubes or something on it?
But Tim, let me ask you a question, Tim. I gotta shave. I need a good electric razor that has a nice stand, has to be USB powered. What do you know? Any company that would have something like that?
Manscaped.com. Support for Pro Wrestling Unlimited is brought to you by Manscaped.com, who is the best in men's below-the-belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Whether you're getting your cock and balls rubbed or you're pulling some lollipops out of there cleanly, Manscaped can help you with that. That's why Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer. The Manscaped engineering team spent 18 months perfecting the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created, and they've just released the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0. Their third-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to prevent manscaping accidents. Millions of balls are about to be nick-free, not the nick we're talking to here, thanks to Manscaped's advanced skin-safe technology. Manscaping accidents are finally a thing in the past. When I tell you this is premium, well, I mean premium. The battery lasts up to 90 minutes, so you can take a longer shave. One of the coolest features is the LED light that illuminates grooming areas for a closer and more precise trimming. They've also upgraded to a 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology. And let's not forget about the charging stand. Show your mower off loud and proud, because this technology, this intelligently designed stand, is rapidly charging dock by USB. If you are listening to me speak right now, you are one of the first people to hear about this life-changing product, and I want you to experience it firsthand. So people, trim your junk. Get 20% off and free shipping with our code PW Unlimited at manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you. Again, like I stated, if you need to pull a lollipop clean out of your drawers, well, Manscaped will make sure you're clean down there. Again, get 20% off and free shipping by using code PW Unlimited at manscaped.com. Again, that way you pull clean things out your pants.
Listen, if not because you need to shave or you want to start shaving or whatever, but do it because every time we read these ads, there's like a 10% chance that the reason the podcast gets fucking demonetized is because of the ad read.
Very true.
So just do it to help us out, for the love of God.
So yeah, that Steiner bullshit was not good.
Stinky.
And then the main event, which I'll touch on really fast because this wasn't that good either. It was Madman Fulton versus Rhino. Both men were supposed to face off in it's supposed to be a multi-man Ravens Clockwork Orange match, which I always thought were fun matches. If you don't know what Ravens Clockwork Orange matches were, it was basically...
who wrestled in a Clockwork Orange match?
Who?
Did CM Punk wrestle in a Clockwork Orange match in TNA against Raven when he was doing his...
He might have.
When he was doing his, a follower of Raven gimmick?
He might have. So what the Clockwork Orange match is basically two sides of the ring have, like, a steel cage. Then the other sides of the ring have these chains with weapons hanging on them that you can grab at any time and use. You can go anywhere in the building and whatnot. Man, you beat the shit out of your opponents until you pin somebody. And so Madman Fulton and Rhino were supposed to both be in that match. I think Tommy Dreamer may have also supposed to be in the match at the pay-per-view, and Raven. So we're supposed to get a quote-unquote preview with Rhino and Madman Fulton, but this match just ended up ending in a disqualification when the lights go out. And literally the lights go out, and someone goes, I think it was Scott D'Amore goes, it wouldn't be TNA if the lights didn't go out. And I'm like, oh my God. So the lights come back on, and it was Raven with a kendo stick.
He's old.
Tommy Dreamer then appears. It looks like Raven's not going to do anything. He looks at Tommy Dreamer, then he hits him with a kendo stick. Then everybody that wrestled earlier basically came out, and they all brawled, and the show goes off the air. And they're like, what's going to happen this Friday at the pay-per-view? Blah, 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 blah. So,
Nothing
because the pay-per-view is postponed.
Real quick, $5 from Kristen McNutt. She says, Suicide Kaz, Daniel, Koshi, TJP, Jonathan Gresham, and Caleb were the wrestlers that were behind the Suicide Mask. Cool. And then it was the Low-Key was the face model in the game. That's cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah,
I like that you know that, because I think the Suicide character was cool, and his theme song was cool.
Yes.
Suicide, come to life, makes you fun. It was really good. Forever Atheist. He asks, is Mania having a pre-show this year? No.
Yes.
No. Well, yeah.
Both nights will have a kickoff an hour before.
Don't watch it.
There's going to be an hour kickoff. So
I want to.
You want to?
Well, I'll talk to you about it after, because if we talk about it on air, then I'll feel obligated, and if it doesn't work out, blah blah blah.
I think I know what you're going to say.
Okay.
So, with WrestleMania this weekend, the shows will start. The pre-show will start at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Those will run for an hour, and then the main card will start both nights at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Now, night 1 is scheduled to go 3 hours and 15 minutes. So it'll be over at 10:15 Eastern. Night 2 is only scheduled for 3 hours, which would end at just normal 10 p.m. So I don't know why night 1 needs 15 more minutes than night 2 or whatever, but that's what they're listed as right now as far as the times do go. So we'll see. Both nights will have a pre-show. We don't know exactly what the pre-show is going to consist of. Probably just be like Corey Graves and Tom Phillips at the studio in Stanford, like they've been doing for the ESPN stuff.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot we could probably see, and there's a lot that you could see if you follow me on Twitter at ArmWeek21. I'm assuming that's the end of the show.
Sure.
Sweet. You can follow me on Twitter at ArmWeek21. You can follow us on Twitter at PW Unlimited. Like Tim said, check out our friends at Manscaped, manscaped.com, code PW Unlimited at checkout. Tim, where in the goddamn hell can they find you?
You can find me basically everywhere at TimmyBuddy, on Twitter at TimmyBuddy, twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy. And yeah, thank you guys for joining us here tonight to talk about a number of different topics.
Yeah, pretty fun show. You guys will see us again tomorrow for either AEW or NXT, whichever one we feel last minute was probably the better show.
Jason Dalton says, so WWE Network, what are you asking about? Like, is Mania going to be on the network? Because yes, Mania will be on the network for $9.99 or free for new users.
Daniel Price says, Mojo screaming, get hyped at Gronk for an hour. That's the pre-show.
Oh,
absolutely.
Lord.
I would fucking kill myself.
It's just an hour of
pain.
Freaking Gronk trying to chop a Mojo.
God, I hate it. Thank you guys very much. Remember, call your mom. She probably misses you. That shirt might be coming out soon, too. Bye, folks.